Hiya. I don't know whether you can read back to front, but I bought this book in the Tesco across the road. It's a charity shop. It cost me £1, and I'll read you the first chapter, and then it's about a fisherman's experience. And anyway, I'll read it, and some pleasant music in the background from one of my customers. I'll try and put the information on. You can just hear it quietly in the background. Yes, so it's called Shelter in the Storm. I'll just read the introduction. Yeah, anyway, it's called Chapter 1. It says God's Love for You. So anyway, it's the fisherman's tale. It had been a foggy afternoon. I was off the Atlantic coast in my fishing boat. I always went out alone and had been busy working my nets. As evening came on, I noticed that another fishing boat was anchored nearby. I saw that he was also working alone. Although I did not know who he was, I waved and noted that he did not respond. He looked drunk. I went below deck, exhausted from the day's work, and fell asleep in my clothes. I was too tired to take them off. It must have been 11 or 12 o'clock when I heard the yelling. Up on deck, I ran to the railing and saw him in the water. Too drunk to know better, he had fallen overboard. The cold water had started him shouting. Quickly, I stripped down and dove overboard. It was obvious he would be gone in another minute. How I ever got him on board his fishing boat, I'll never know. I carried him below deck, got dry clothes on him, and put him into his bunk. I made him some food and stayed until he was warm and sleeping soundly. Utterly wearied from it all, I did not want to disturb him, so instead of starting the engine, I dove back into the cold Atlantic and swam to my own boat. I almost didn't make it. Exhausted, I fell into my bunk, and with the happy knowledge that I'd saved his life twice, I'd come close to drowning that night, but a man had been saved from drowning himself. A man I didn't know. Next morning broke clear and sunny. I woke about 8 and went up on deck. My new friend was leaning on the rail. "Hi," I called out cheerily. "How are you doing this morning?" With a growl, he told me to shut my mouth. "But I'm your best friend," I cried. "I saved your life last night." At this, he called me a liar and threw every curse word at me that he knew. I went below deck and put my face in my hands and wept. It was then, for the first time in my life, that I really understood the love of God in trying to save people, men in particular. For I had seen a little of what it cost him and what they had given him in return, and I realised that that love is our only hope. That incident took place nearly 100 years ago, but it points us to a deep truth that has changed lives and can bring about happiness to yours. In the chapters of this book, you will find information that for years, you may have been searching for. And what you find is not difficult, for it is the Bible path to God. Here you will learn not only how to come to Him, but how to stay with Him in spite of life's turmoils. And here you will find a love and a forgiveness, an encouragement and a help, such as you may never before have thought possible. Yes, simple steps to a better and happier life, the path home you have been looking for. For you see, it all began with the love of God. Anyway, I'm not going to read you the whole book, but that's the introduction. It's called Shelter in the Storm. That's so I don't know whether you'll be able to find the same story on the YouTube and that kind of thing. But if you don't manage to find this story, then John's Gospel is a good one. If you feel like life doesn't have much meaning or there's problems and that kind of thing, I'd recommend you read John's Gospel, and maybe if you just had a quiet talk to God, because He's everywhere. So, nobody needs to be listening. You just say, please, God, help me find peace and show me the way to go in life. Use your own words. God understands. He gave us a tongue, and He's got ears. Well, yes, definitely. So, anyway, I'll leave it to you. And thanks for listening, and all the best to you. I hope this benefits you in some way. Thank you very much, then. Bye.